reserved for Kevin Morton. Hi, Kev. This is it. Yeah. Hey, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. I'm sorry I'm going to be blocking you.
Greetings. Hello, everyone. Congratulations to all the graduates. Welcome. Welcome, family, friends, distinguished guests, trustees, staff, and our graduating class of 2025. My name is Sonia Magnon, and I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at PAFA. I'm deeply honored and proud to be sharing this moment with all of you. Please join me now in acknowledging the lands on which we are gathered today. They're the ancestral lands of the Lenape people, whose presence and resilience in Pennsylvania continues to this day. I would also like to recognize our trustee members who are here with us today. Don Codwell, Chair of our trustees, and Rebecca Siegel, Arts Education and Community Engagement Committee member. Yesterday, the highlight of the spring semester and the culmination of the years of hard work for our graduates was celebrated at the annual student preview party that was hosted by the Women Committee. The work is truly remarkable, and you should all be very proud of your accomplishments. Let's all please give a round of applause to our exhibiting artists and our graduating seniors. The work was amazing. I can't wait for all of our families to see the work at the public opening this afternoon. To the graduates, you are each now a part of PAFA's unbroken line, an incredible legacy of PAFA-trained artists, teachers, and students. Those who not only received their training here, but developed a studio practice at PAFA. PAFA has been at the heart of contemporary art making since its founding, and you are a continued living part of that active tradition. As an artist, you not only possess creative skills and expertise, but you are critical thinkers, creative problem solvers, communicators, and collaborators. As you move forward into the next chapter of your journey, I encourage you to apply these skills both to your studio practice and your lives. In the business world, I often refer to creators and innovators of new industries and enterprise as visionaries. The original and future visionaries are the artists. I know this year has been challenging at best. I recognize and commend your collective resilience and commitment to forge ahead in times of uncertainty. Last year's announcement to wind down PAFA as a degree-granting institution was a hard pill to swallow for all of us, but necessary in preserving what PAFA does best: train world-class artists. We will continue this trajectory as we launch 2 new certificate programs, foundations, and studio residency, and as we continue our post-baccalaureate certificate program. You all have persevered in the face of adversity. That makes your accomplishments and successes worthy of celebration and recognition. On behalf of PAFA's Board of Trustees, esteemed faculty, dedicated staff, I want to extend to each of you our heartfelt congratulations. We are so very proud of what you have accomplished. Congratulations to the class of 2025. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Rebecca Siegel, a distinguished PAFA alumna from the original certificate program, who now serves on PAFA's Board of Trustees, an accomplished mixed media artist and owner of one of the most venerable galleries in the Philadelphia region, the Gross McLeaf Gallery. Rebecca is also a trustee of the Woodmere Art Museum and a commissioner on the Philadelphia Art Commission, pursuant to appointment by Mayor Sherelle L. Parker. Please warmly welcome to the podium, Rebecca Siegel.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
To the families and friends who have supported our graduates with unwavering love and commitment, to my esteemed fellow trustees, to the dedicated faculty and staff, and most importantly, to the resilient, talented BFA, MFA, and certificate class of 2025, welcome. It is truly an honor to be here with you today. I'm delighted to stand before you as a proud alum and representative of the Board of Trustees, but also as a mother of 6, a working artist, and someone who, at the tender age of 38, made the life-changing decision to attend PAFA. My time here was the gift of a lifetime, and my trajectory from student to artist to gallery owner, prize donor, and now to trustee is one that I am proud to share because it shows what a PAFA education can spark, and I'm in this for the long haul. I spent 6 exciting years immersed in this world, where I was constantly inspired and surrounded by people pushing themselves, questioning, experimenting, and creating with urgency. It wasn't competitive at all. It wasn't easy, as you all know, but it was the kind of hard work that builds strength, and I am truly grateful for this. What I believe makes PAFA so special, beyond the legacy, the collection, and the studios, is the faculty. The people who show up day after day to challenge you, support you, and share their own creative journeys with you. They are the beating heart of this institution. Their passion, their rigor, and their commitment to helping you discover your own voice is what sets PAFA apart. There's a quote I keep returning to from Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you can look inside your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Above all, that's what PAFA gives you. Not just technical skill in spades, not just history, for sure, but the invitation to look inward, to mine your own curiosity and experiences, and to turn that into something others can feel. Matisse said, creativity takes courage, and you have all proven that you have it. It is a deeply personal and humble act to reveal yourself through your work. And yes, it can be scary to say, this is what I see, this is what I feel, this is what I made, this is who I am, and to release that into the world. You've chosen a path of honesty and risk that dares you to leave a mark. And as artists, you're not just observers, but active participants. You have the rare ability to create meaning, beauty, and moments that invite others to pause, feel, and imagine. You reflect truth, offer new perspectives, and sometimes you make us laugh, cry, and importantly, remember who we are. Never underestimate that power. It is not a small thing. It is everything. You leave here with a perspective, a purpose, and a practice all your own. Take what you have cultivated here and keep shaping the world with it. I can't wait to see what you create next. Congratulations, class of 2025. I will now turn it over to Dr. Kevin Richards to introduce this year's commencement speaker.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Kevin Richards, Chair of the Graduate Programs at PAFA, and it is my great pleasure to introduce the commencement speaker for the class of 2025, Abigail DeVille. Abigail DeVille was born in New York and received a BFA from the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York and an MFA from Yale University. Her work has been the subject of an Art 21 documentary, and she has had residencies at the Studio Museum in Harlem and the International Studio and Curatorial Program in Brooklyn, as well as having been a recipient of a number of awards, including the Rome Prize of the American Academy in Rome in 2016, and she was also nominated for the Future Generation Art Prize at the 55th Venice Biennale. These achievements, however, do not exist in a vacuum. Like the found objects and locally sourced materials she incorporates into her installations and sculptures, they bear witness to trans-temporal connections, conversations between past, present, and future, highlighting the ways that overlooked objects and spaces bear witness and testify to hidden stories, stories yet to be told, and that need to be told, hauntological tales, revealing the ways that being is always already haunted, where the traces of institutional oppression and violence brush up against community hopes, aspirations, and dreams, where the unsettled and unsettling materiality of historical conflict embeds itself into everyday materials. Her work engages deeply with the specific sites that her installations and sculptures mark through research and reflection, bringing to light narratives surrounding and embedded in Black and brown communities on the periphery, finding poetry within the overlooked detritus of everydayness, finding extraordinary dramas within the most ordinary of objects. She often incorporates her own personal history into her work, as well as looking into intergenerational links that provide creative fuel and buttress her historical investigations into the sites that her work engages. The continued importance and significance of her practice and voice is vital, especially in the world we are navigating in 2025. As the BFA and MFA programs at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts come to a close, I can think of no better person to have share her words with our graduating class. Please join me in welcoming Abigail DeVille to the podium.
Hey everybody, congratulations. I'm happy to share this moment with you all here and in this moment in time and history here at PAFA. I think PAFA was like the first place I was off and on a visiting critic, like anywhere post grad school. So I also learned here with you in terms of how to give feedback in studio visits. But I'm going to jump into it. You are here because you loved, raised, supported, sheltered, and fed a visionary. Someone in your life shines so bright that you have done all you can to amplify their reach. Thank you all for your support and guidance, and congratulations to every single person in the room today. You made it here. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium. Nearly all the elements in the human body were created in a star, and many have come through several supernovas. Stars, as we are the building blocks of the universe. We love with the same elements that were birthed from the cauldron of the stars, in their fury creating us to love one another. We are concentrated and meditated expressions of the universe with infinite potential. Stardust is the great equalizer and collapse of time, making us spectacularly visible and bound to one another. In the invention of what our ancient ancestors must have had in mind when looking at the stars above in distinct fellowship with our previous selves, they drew a circle upon the imagination of the deep. Imagination, creativity, and connectivity to the understanding of something beyond your physical circumstances, something that has no name, and naming it is what you arrived at PAFA with. The Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts Charter from December 26, 1805 says, "Promote the cultivation of the fine arts in the United States of America by exciting the effort of artists gradually to unfold, enlighten, and invigorate the talents of our countrymen. You are drawing up, drawing in, drawing around, drawing, and fulfilling a series of curiosities, a manifestation of imagination that could benefit humankind. What does it mean to be an artist? Is it some crucial or critical standpoint or position in society, and how is it in the service of others? What is truth and how do we define it? Art is one of the most effective communication tools we have as a species. It is breadcrumbs spread throughout the earth. We live for the future and converse with the ancients. It is time travel without the invention of a time machine. How can we be faithful to truth and not shield ourselves in the comforts of escapism and delusion? What are you to do? What do your hearts call? Will you answer it? Crave for knowledge. The heights of the heavens stretch forth to the light of the stardust within, and the limitations of our understanding ourselves. The interior lives are ours alone, and no one knows the desires held within. Be bold and courageous as you have already demonstrated that you are. Keep fighting for truth and integrity of purpose, and you can challenge yourself to use your creative powers. You are skilled now, but the training is for dynamic problem solving and creating a world waiting for you to do so. If you have dreamed this far, then don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. That's not me, that's dream. But Maya Angelou also wrote this poem for every human being on earth, so I wanted to share it with you now. It's called A Brave and Startling Truth. We, this people, on a small and lonely planet, travel through casual space, past aloof stars, across the way of indifferent suns, to a destination where all signs tell us it is possible and imperative that we learn a brave and startling truth. And when we come to it, to the day of peacemaking, when we release our fingers from fists of hostility and allow the pure air to cool our palms, when we come to it, when the curtain falls on the minstrel show of hate and faces sooted with scorn are scrubbed clean, when battlefields and coliseum no longer rake our unique and particular sons and daughters up with the bruised and bloody grass to lie in identical plots in foreign soil, when the rapacious storming of the churches, the screaming racket in the temples have ceased, when the pennants are waving gaily, when the banners of the world tremble stoutly in the good, clean breeze, when we come to it, when we let the rifles fall from our shoulders and children dress their dolls in flags of truce, when landmines of death have been removed and the aged can walk into evenings of peace, when religious ritual is not perfumed by the incense of burning flesh and childhood dreams are not kicked awake by nightmares of abuse, when we come to it, then we will confess that not the pyramids with their stones set in mysterious perfection, nor the gardens of Babylon hanging as eternal beauty in our collective memory, not the Grand Canyon kindled into delicious color by western sunsets, nor the Danube flowing its blue soul into Europe, not the sacred peak of Mount Fuji stretching to the rising sun, neither Father Amazon nor Mother Mississippi, who without favor nurture all creatures in the depths and on the shores. These are not the only wonders of the world. When we come to it, we, this people, on this minuscule and kithless globe, who reach daily for the bomb, the blade, and the dagger, yet who petition in the dark for tokens of peace, We, this people, on this moat of matter, in whose mouths abide cantankerous words, which challenge our very existence. Yet out of those same mouths come songs of such exquisite sweetness that the heart falters in its labor, and the body is quieted into awe. We, this people, on this small and drifting planet, whose hands can strike with such abandon that in a twinkling life is sapped from the living. Yet those same hands can touch with such healing, irresistible tenderness, that the haughty neck is happy to bow and the proud back is glad to bend. Out of such chaos, of such contradiction, we learn that we are neither devils nor divines. When we come to it, we, this people, on this wayward, floating body, created on this earth, of this earth, have the power to fashion for this earth a climate where every man and woman can live freely, without sanctimonious piety, without crippling fear. When we come to it, we must confess that we are the possible, we are the miraculous, the true wonder of this world. That is when, and only when, we come to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail. Those are inspiring words. I'd like to ask folks to move in. We have some families standing in the back and they'd like to be seated. So folks can kind of move in if there are empty seats. Next to you, I see a couple of empty seats there. We want to make sure everyone is comfortable. Thank you. Are Aiko and CJ here? CJ's not. Is Aiko here? Now I'm pleased to introduce Lydia Hamilton Brown, President of PAFA's Alumni Association and a PAFA alumna, to present this year's Alumni Awards. Lydia earned a PAFA certificate in 1973, a Post-Bacc certificate in 2014, and an MFA in 2016. So please give a warm welcome to Lydia.
First, I'd like to echo Rebecca's words. They were so beautiful, and you will find as you go on through life that PAFA is the most important thing you've ever done. With all the ups and downs all through my career, as you can see, it's been a long one. This has always been the place I always came back to. And you will feel that way. No matter what, you will always love PAFA. So I thank you for those kind words. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Be proud of your achievement. It is no small feat. As creative individuals, you are a positive force in today's world. All of you now belong to a distinctive group of artists that include Thomas Akins, Mary Cassatt, Maxfield Parrish, Cecilia Bowe, the first woman to teach at PAFA, Barclay Hendricks, and of course, David Lynch. As president of the Alumni Council, I welcome you as freshly minted alumni of the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. As we experience these changes at PAFA, the Alumni Council is moving forward with opportunities for students and alumni. Our mentor program is available for alumni and students alike. We host new programs that connect students and faculty with working artists. We have created an advisory board of artists in the PAFA community. PAFA alumni may now take advantage of the woodshop or print shop memberships. Special programs such as ceramics are now available. There are many things changing at PAFA. However, the Alumni Council of the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts remains strong and committed to our school. I'm going ahead with our awards, Aiko, I don't see that she is here. Kate, have you seen? Okay, so we are going to head with the awards. I'll run through them, and then hopefully she will be in attendance later. It is my privilege to present this year's Distinguished Alumni Award to Aiko Fan. Aiko was born in Tokyo and came to live in the United States at age 18. She began her studies at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts in 1970, where she received a certificate in sculpture in 1974. When we spoke recently, she recalled the day she first saw the Academy building and knew that this was the school she wanted to be in. She earned a BFA in 1980, an MFA in 1982, both in sculpture from the University of Pennsylvania. Her many awards include the Crescent Memorial Scholarship, the Scheidt Memorial Traveling Scholarship from PAFA, the Leeway Foundation Transformation Award, and an award from the Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf for her outstanding contribution to the Asian community. She has exhibited at the Philadelphia Art Alliance, Rowan University, and Please Touch Museum. Aiko has made many public performances of her live wood sculpture, most recently at the Cherry Street Pier, the Asian Arts Initiatives, and the Barnes Foundation. Many years ago, I was privileged to see her perform in the rotunda of the historic landmark building. As the dancers gathered and the performance began, she became her sculpture. She became her art. Her motto is, "Art is food and everybody needs to eat." So we will give her a round of applause and hopefully. Unfortunately, Kate McCammon and I received a text this morning that CJ is not feeling well, and he did want to come here. I know how excited he was to receive this award. So I will again introduce this year's Alumni Service Award without our recipient. It is now my privilege to present this year's Alumni Service Award to CJ Stahl. CJ received an MFA from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts and a BFA from Shippensburg University. He is an artist, a writer, a curator living in Philadelphia. As student engagement and alumni coordinator, CJ was active in guiding students through the preparation of their work for the ASC and worked with the Alumni Council members to manage and present exhibitions in the Alumni Gallery. I met CJ in 2014 when I joined the Alumni Council as a student representative. Always generous with his time, he worked diligently for the students of the council and the school. CJ always made himself available for a meeting or a conversation and always pushed the council to constantly consider how we could better serve the students and the alumni. He created the Alumni Council Award that is awarded to an MFA student chosen by their peers, an award that we continue to present. I would like to share with you a comment from fellow Alumni Council member Brian Spees. After leaving Philadelphia, I felt increasingly disconnected from PAFA. It was CJ that changed that. First in working with him on a show I curated in the Alumni Gallery, and later by inviting me to join the Alumni Council. CJ has made me feel again connected to a school that played such a formative role in my development as an artist and a person. For that, I remain grateful, and I am sure I am not the only person within the Academy who has had a similar experience with CJ that has positively impacted their experience of this wonderful institution. So we'll applaud CJ. I congratulate them both, and I believe CJ is watching this on live stream, so I'm sure he's very proud of the award. Thank you. Thank you, Lydia, and congratulations to Aiko and CJ. Two in Time was a special exhibition on view in the School of Fine Arts Gallery from February 21st through April 6th of this year. It celebrated the legacy and honored the work of esteemed, long-standing PAFA faculty members and alumni, Dan Miller and Bruce Samuelson. It recognized their extensive artistic practices that collectively span painting, drawing, printmaking, and sculpture, and honored the incredible impact these faculty members had
on the PAFA community, from students and faculty to alums. As students of the Academy, Dan graduated in 1959 and Bruce in 1968. Their journeys have been interwoven with the faculty of PAFA's deeply rooted educational history that blends tradition with innovation, skills with concepts, and practice with artistic voice. Two in Time showed us that two of a kind is better than one. As Dan and Bruce have left their imprints on many at PAFA across programs, from their authentic teaching, thoughtful critiques, and unwavering dedication, these gems have contributed to what makes PAFA Academy a sanctuary for artists. Together, their PAFA legacy constitute over a century of teaching, inspiring all who have come to know and work with them, etched into the hearts and practices of past, current, and future makers. The timeless influence of Dan and Bruce as both faculty and artists are celebrated today and beyond. I am honored to recognize and confer Professor Emeritus to Dan Miller and Bruce Samuelson. Please stand to your feet and join me in a warm round of applause as Dan and Bruce come to the podium.
Well, this is a surprise. Aiko fan. I said glorious things about you, Aiko, and I don't think anyone wants me to repeat these. But it is my honor to present Aiko fan. Aiko has been a driving force in the PAFA community for many, many years. And I think everyone will agree with me and join me in once again welcoming Aiko. I'll take this back to the seat for you.
I'd like to hold it.
You'd like to hold it?
Sorry, I was late. I came to America when I was 18 from Tokyo. I think I was courageous. I looked at the building Broad and Cherry. I said, wow, I'm going to go there. And so I spent 4 years here, 50 years ago. It's heavy. I made sculpture every day. Coming from Japan, the sculpture is solid. And I was carving in the basement of Broad and Cherry. And then I got scholarship to Europe, going to Europe, went back to Japan. But I loved wood in this country. Cherry and walnut. I came back because you wear like shorts and trying to pull the wood from the street. People stop the car and hop it in for you. It's free. Anyway, in 1980, I think, I was carving like solid wood, Henry Moore type of work, and then I was told, oh, same, same. So I said, fine. I start slicing wood and this is my wings. I start making wood sculpture called live wood sculpture. I'm a dancer and mime. I incorporated my body movement and start making film. And I got grant, hired 10 performers, museum, different venues around here. And then I thought, I did enough. So I decided, okay, that's enough. And start having kids, right? And then kids perform for me for $10. Why not? So they start performing for me. And we went to Scotland and performed throughout Scotland. And they were very professional about it. And we performed many places. And 50 years later, my children are both good artists. And now I make sculpture every day with chainsaw and Dremel. And they are mother and being a woman sculpture. And I carve it every day. And what I want to say to the graduate, 50 years from now, please have same passion to create and keep going with it. And also, I forgot to tell you, I also taught sculpture to people with visual disability and kids with cerebral palsy. And I invented so many ways for them to create, not me to create. So, you know, your skill can apply to so many different things. And don't stop. The graduate has to keep going and spread the Academy of Fine Art energy, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aiko. I will now turn the podium over to Jill Rapunski, Chair of Fine Arts, to recognize our Travel Award recipients.
Thank you, Sonia, and congratulations to Aiko, CJ, Dan, and Bruce. Travel is integral to the development of an artist, and PAFA has a long-standing tradition of providing travel opportunities to students. Travel awards are judged by the faculty from installations in the annual student exhibition. These awards provide funds for travel, and 3 of these awards provide funds for an additional year at PAFA. This year, those returning students will be able to enter the studio residency or post-baccalaureate certificate programs. I'm pleased to recognize the graduating BFA students who received this year's travel awards. Students, please stand as I call your name. Established in 1902, the William Emlyn Cresson Memorial Travel Scholarship is awarded to an undergraduate student for a summer of travel in Europe and for a 1-year full scholarship to return to PAFA. This year's recipient is Victor Serbrook. The Richard von Hess Memorial Travel Scholarship, established in memory of Richard C. von Hess, award is granted to an exceptional student who uses traditional media and whose work is informed by historical traditions such as classicism or modernism. This award is for unrestricted travel and for a returning year at PAFA. This year's recipient is Lily Tucker. First awarded in 2006, the Women's Board Travel Scholarship is awarded to a BFA student for unrestricted travel and for full or partial tuition for an additional year at PAFA. This year's recipient is Sakura Hartman. The J. Henry Scheidt Memorial Travel Scholarship is awarded for unrestricted travel. This year's recipient is Lily Kalinowski. The Lewis S. Ware Memorial Travel Scholarship provides European travel, and this year's recipient is Hannah Rusi. I would like to now invite Dr. Kevin Richards to come to the podium to announce MFA Travel Awards.
Thank you, Jill. I am pleased to announce the Dr. R.J. Wallner Travel Award Fund. This award is given to a graduating MFA student for unrestricted travel. This year's recipient pursued work that explored familial histories, personal struggles and questions, and the ways that pain can still affect us emotionally, even in the 21st century. This year's recipient is Deshawn McCarthy. We are delighted to have Jesse Williams-Burns, co-sponsor of the Murray Desner Award, announce this year's award recipient. Would Jesse please come to the podium?
The Murray Desner Award is established in memory of Murray Desner, a beloved Academy professor and noted Philadelphia artist, and my godfather. We feel sure that Murray would want nothing more than for other MFA students to be inspired by travel just as he was as an Academy student during the summers of 1965 and 1966. This year's recipient is Ian Butts.
Now I invite this year's speaker for the Bachelor of Fine Arts program, Olivia Catherine Heister, to offer remarks on behalf of the undergraduate class.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. It's really heartening to see such a full house and to share this moment. I'm really feeling the love and the generosity in the room today, so thank you. To my classmates in particular, I'm really proud to be sharing this moment with all of you. Together, we are experiencing the culmination of a transformative time in our lives as artists and as people, and looking towards the beginning of all that lies ahead. I would also like to acknowledge the fact that we are the last group of artists to have experienced PAFA precisely as we did, so our collective and individual accomplishments are particularly special, as they also serve to mark the end of an era at such a long-standing institution. As I begin to face my own future, both as a young person alive right now, and especially as an artist, I often find myself harboring a great sense of uncertainty. And while there are a number of very reasonable questions that accompany this feeling, my uncertainty has also prompted me to reflect upon perhaps the greatest teaching from my time here, a teaching that will stay with me for the rest of my life. One of the most important ideas that has been imparted to me, not necessarily by any one person at any one time, but over the course of my years here, in classes, in critiques, in conversation, and in my own studio, has been the idea that it's not about the answer, it's about the quality of the question. How could this be the case? What does that even mean? It is not about arriving at the right answers, whatever that might mean, but about continually seeking to ask better questions, more personal, more challenging, more beautiful questions. I hypothesize, with great humility as I've only just begun to find this in my own painting, that this act and practice of asking and honing our questions is exactly how we continue to move forward in the studio and in life. Through this lens, perhaps uncertainty is an artist's greatest asset. The French poet Jean Lescaut wrote, "Knowing must be accompanied by an equal capacity to forget knowing. Non-knowing is not a form of ignorance, but a difficult transcendence of knowledge. This is the price that must be paid for one's work to be, at all times, a sort of pure beginning, which makes its creation an exercise in freedom." Non-knowing, in tandem, of course, with all that we have been so lucky to gather and learn throughout our time here, may now be just what we need to embrace in order to fully feel how open the future is to each of us. We have been so fortunate to spend these years here together, and now, as we find our circumstances inevitably shifting once again, we must view this change and the uncertainty of the future, however big or small or abstract or concrete as your own uncertainty may feel, as a gift. Each of us is always in the process of finding and creating our individual voices, and the celebration of this milestone brings that ever-present truth to the forefront. Each of us is forging a path forward, and this moment calls upon us to recognize the great gift and responsibility that is our artistic autonomy. In pursuing this, it is essential that we commit to always asking more and better questions. It is not about knowing, but it is about finding out. And when nothing is known, anything is possible. The German poet Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote in a letter to a younger poet, "You are young, your life is just beginning. I ask you to have patience with all that is unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves, like closed rooms, like books written in a foreign language. Don't try to find the answers now. They cannot be given anyway, for you would not be able to live them, for everything is to be lived." I am fond of the saying, "The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit." Today is a day for all of us to enjoy the fruits of seeds we planted long ago, and so long as we commit ourselves to planting more seeds, there will be more fruits to come. That is to say, this is every bit as much a celebration of a beginning as it is of an ending. May every one of us continue to make the work that nurtures our spirit, and may the future be fruitful. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. And now I would like to invite Leroy David Nunnery III, who will speak on behalf of this year's graduating Master of Fine Arts degree students.
Hi everybody, it's a full room. Oh my goodness. Okay, before I get started, I just want to say thank you to my family, my wife, my people. I wouldn't be here without your support and your love. My teachers, I'll get to it in the speech, but you all are awesome. You've helped so many of us achieve so much. And to those that I haven't gotten a chance to work with, I hope I get to work with you in the future as part of this community. Okay. So, I'm ready now. It's real, I got arm flaps. So, because this is art school, I was going to present to you a 5-minute interpretive dance of me as a sunflower. But then I thought, no, this is supposed to be a speech, and a very historically important one. So then I figured it made sense to have a 25-hour Cory Booker marathon chat about how much I love abstract art. Trying to get ready, guys. Cool. I'm not going to do that. Thinking abstractly is something that many in my family have had to do to survive. While they may not credit themselves with being abstract artists, the ways in which they have navigated events has always impacted me. The ability to think on the fly, to adapt, to make the most out of a bad situation, to handle negativity, it's benefited me endlessly in the studio. My grandfather, Leroy Number 1, once told me that nobody could ever take what was in my mind and my heart. What's interesting is that by learning to strengthen both here at PAFA, I am now able to share both in my artwork. I would have to say, given the works on display that many of you will see in a short time, others have learned to do the same. We've all had our minds primed philosophically, and at times, I'm sorry, this thing is, it's my mind, right? We've had our minds primed philosophically, and at times we've had to dig deep inside to find out what really makes us who we are. It's echoing some of the sentiments spoken earlier. It's because artists think alike. I wanted to take the time for us to acknowledge our families, our parents, our spouses, our siblings, and children who have supported us along the way. Without you all, your love and your patience and your free food, we wouldn't have been able to risk what we are risking as artists, because you gotta have snacks. I want to thank our wonderful teachers for being here, and not in the metaphorical sense, but actually being here. In the midst of everything that's gone on within these walls, and for having to deal with everything else that goes on, they kept showing up for us. It means something when someone remains strong enough through stressful situations to see them through. That's the kind of person you want to be around, to look up to and to emulate. And when you assemble a team of people like that, you have magic. Our teachers are proof that not only can you function as a successful artist, but also as a solid, well-rounded human being. By being here and showing up, they reveal to us what the heart of an artist is made of. It's charcoal, some pigments, a few wood scraps, some gesso, linseed oil. That's about it. Heart is Al Ghuri explaining to us how being reliable as a person and an artist helped his career. What he may not know, I told him yesterday, is that in teaching the after-school oil painting class here at PAFA with high school students in the city, I've worked with the future artists that are children of his students, and a few others being taught by Al's past students from here in schools around the city. That's full circle, wouldn't you say? Heart is our teachers who aren't here today. I hope they're on video cameras. Look at the camera. But who aren't here today but have reached out to us to show support after helping us all reach this point. Being challenged to the core by Amy, Caitlin, Nisa, and Eileen is what helped push us. Some of us couldn't paint the way we do without Renee or Scott. We couldn't hang our art without CJ. It's real. More thanks to Etty and Christina for taking the time as well. As a member of the Visiting Artist Program, I can attest to Jason Musson immediately asking if David Dempty-Wolf was still here. While circumstances beyond the control of some have limited our resources and access to teachers, we were still given the chance to work with quality individuals who have a serious track record of producing quality individuals. If I see any of you out in the wild, I expect hugs, please. Heart is those that remain, from the library crew and maintenance staff to Jill and the museum preps. Heart is Kate and also Kate. Kevin, Michael, Erlen, and Matthew for making sure we had what we needed when at times they may not have had what they needed. Also to John for making sure I didn't hurt myself running the bandsaw, cutting that wood for the marimba. That's clutch. There are a few other places with regards to a career choice where you get to stand next to one of the professionals who taught the professional who visited you in your studio, that made the 20-foot painting in front of you at an internationally known art show. It's even better when a few feet away is another professional who also visited with you in your studio. That was just one class trip to the PMA with Kate Moran, discussing a Jonathan Lyndon Chase work when Tim McFarlane was standing nearby, also checking out the art. I feel like that's kind of when you know you're in the right place. The show is called The Time Is Always Now, and while it's a celebration of the Black figure first and foremost, it exists as a testament to those who have created here and outside these walls, as well as what they endured and overcame as artists. As artists, we know we will get through these tassels because we have always done this. Although aspects of this school are shutting down, you don't remain an entity for 220 years without artists, period. See, there's your proof. Regardless of your ethnic background, orientation, or status, you can find work here that you will connect with, perhaps made by someone like you, maybe made by someone completely different from you. You can find work that was made when you were born and see everything else that has occurred since then, all within the artwork. Since people were being chased by animals starting the first fires, artists were drawing in caves, carving stones, making little figurines, and even jewelry. Artists have documented their culture and society shifts, wars, famines, conceptualized a soul, made people think, forced people to question, made us all feel something. That versatility is important because we stand on the edge of something huge, the future. The last BFAs and of course the last MFAs for a little bit. Beyond painting and sculpture, we are free to venture into animation, fashion, comedy, film and photography, music, architecture, design, literature, performance arts, and sunflower. And not even bat an eye because we have the tools and the ability. These are the gifts that we've been given, and we are soon to be declared masters of those gifts. There is no pressure because of what we've already survived and what we've been through together. The walls may have felt like they were closing in and we had an uncertain future at times, but we made it anyway. We made it anyway. We're here, right? I'm talking to you, so it's real. We adapted. We took what some consider to be scraps and collaged it all into something beautiful. When you find out David Lynch used the paintings he made here at PAFA as inspiration for films that inspire millions to this day, you know you have to stop throwing your work out. Oh. When you also dream, it also makes you dream that you can do similar. When you stand in this very room named after John Rodin, surrounded by his sculptures, you feel moved. Look to your left and your right if you get a chance. In many ways, we have to keep dreaming big because of the weight of the reality of times. We are, at least for some time, the last MFAs, and that is what makes us special. We must maintain a standard so that when things do turn around again, and they will, there will be teachers and creatives ready to get the next wave inspired to keep this art thing going. To all of you, please keep listening to the artists around you. Us. We have the ability to do and say things that you may not be able to. At a time when certain voices are being silenced, we will be a vital lifeline and we will be the ones to take the best notes. When you are feeling down, turn to art. When you need a break, turn to art. Listen to us and we will listen to you. Who else could paint you like one of those fancy French Johns? Especially if you ask nicely. Nobody but an artist. And if you don't know what a John is, you're in Philadelphia, you get used to it. It's everything. So we will get through this together. We must keep dreaming big and feeding the imagination, although we've had enough conspiracy theories. And with that, I would like you all to repeat just a couple words. If you can see it, you can draw it.
If you can see it, you can draw it.
If you can draw it, you can make it.
If you can draw it, you can make it.
If you make it, you can see it.
If you make it, you can see it.
If it loops back around, you keep making things, you keep drawing things, you keep seeing things, and that's what you do. We're artists. We are artists. We do have a legacy to uphold, and we will make it happen. After all, we learned at PAFA. Thank you.
Thank you, Leroy. And Olivia. Thank you very much. To you too. Now we come to the primary reason we are gathered here today, to acknowledge the accomplishments of those students who have successfully completed the requirements for their Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, Post-Baccalaureate certificate, and Master of Fine Arts degree from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. Jill and Sonia. I think it's Peter. Right? Peter, you there? Okay. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts please stand? Dr. Magnan, it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you those candidates who have successfully completed the requirements for the degree of the Bachelor of Fine Arts from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon you, as appropriate, the degrees of Bachelor of Fine Arts, Post-Baccalaureate Certificate and Master of Fine Arts from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Chair Rapinski, please present the graduates.
Will the graduates now, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. First, I would like to recognize the following students who have completed the requirements. Please be seated. Until, yep, yeah, I see it's over here. When I call your name, please come up to receive your degree or certificate. Deirdre Burns. Faith Margaret Castillo. Thank you. Donovan Rockwell Dixon. Sophia Ludwig Dreyfus. Thank you. Min A. Duong. Tara Marie Grunwald. Thank you. Sakura Hartman. Olivia Catherine Heister. Lilia Kalinowski. Brianna Clara Carabell. I'm sorry, Brianna Claire Carabell. My apologies. Bones Lake. Mercy Ann Lindell. Alpha Blessings Manchazi. Julia Gwen Bankovich. Emma Ringe Randall. Paula Rivera. Henry Kagan Rowe, not here. Hannah Rusi. Victor Serbrook. Nicholas James Yurkonis. Meta Faith Venus Zerhow, who's not here. Now I would like to recognize those students who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree as bestowed upon them by the University of Pennsylvania in cooperation with the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. The following students will have their degrees officially conferred at Penn. Today it is our pleasure to acknowledge their accomplishments for their work at PAFA. When your name is called, please stand to be recognized. Abigail Bemis, River Hennick, Nastasia Sharanovich, and Yasmin Wang. Also, the following PAFA Penn students have completed their studio studies at PAFA and will return to Penn to continue their degree requirements. When your name is called, please stand. Nina Clifton. Lily Tucker. Jake Weinstein. And Sun Young, who's not here. Let's give them all an applause. Thank you. Will Dr. Kevin Richards and Professor Kate Moran please come to the stage to recognize our post-baccalaureate certificate and Master of Fine Arts degree candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Congratulations to all the graduates on your accomplishments. Your thesis exhibition looks incredible, and I know that there's been a lot of hard work that has led to this show. The class of 2025 has faced a number of challenges to arrive at this day. You've had to endure obstacles personally and collectively on the local, national, and global levels. You have endured and grown over the course of your study, and in the process have earned the respect and admiration of your faculty and fellow members of the PAFA community. Over the past 2 years, you have carried out material explorations, learned new techniques, mediums, and considered new and old concepts as you collectively found your individual paths and the way these paths intersect with your time here at PAFA. You have undergone intense emotional labor as you have assessed personal histories, intergenerational trauma, and the hauntological effects and impact of institutional failings. From the national to the local, from the communal to the familial. Your work bears witness to these different narratives, reflecting the wondrous and challenging complexity to the contemporary world, representing a spectrum of perspectives that embody and are embedded in the visual work on display. The space resonates with the ideas that you have shared with each other and your faculty over the course of your journey through the graduate program. The work also reflects your conversations as part of the learning community you have created during your time at PAFA. You have learned from each other, asked difficult questions, taken risks, and expanded your practice. You have grown as artists and individuals, and you have built a community of peers who will remain with you on your journey. I am honored to recognize the following students who have completed the requirements for the Post-Baccalaureate certificate and the Master of Fine Arts degree. When called, please come forward to receive your MFA degree. First, we recognize our Post-Baccalaureate certificate graduate, Marjorie Robbins. Now, our Master of Fine Arts graduates. Ian Roberson Boots. David Lloyd Cade Sr. Joanne Frances Emmanuel de Cervantes.
That's right.
Tyra Chanel Coach. Kiara Renee Cunningham. Deshaun J. McCarthy.
That's my twin right there. We got the same face all the time. I love you too.
Leroy David Nunnery III. Rebecca Emmeline Wakefield. Let's give our PAFA graduates another big round of applause. Now, Dr. Magnon will have some final words for us.
Congratulations to the 2025 graduating class of the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts and to the PAFA Penn students. I would like to take a moment to thank all of the staff that have supported you on your journey, in particular those that have put so much work, hard work and time into making the ASC and the commencement possible. Our faculty, please stand faculty.